Up with KREM begins now.
6 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Up with KREM and streaming on KREM 2+. I'm Tim Pham. Well, let's start off this Monday morning by getting you ready for the day with a look at your weather forecast. My goodness, kind of a wacky weekend weather-wise, but Nicole, you're telling us we still have some more kind of unexpected weather kind of this next couple of days.
Yeah, the good news is today at least we kind of know when and where the rain is going to land. Take a look out over Coeur d'Alene. A lot more clouds in Coeur d'Alene than we're seeing just even here in Spokane. That cloud cover is what most of us are going to continue to see through the day. That sunshine is very quickly going to leave our region. For right now, we are cool this morning. 38 degrees here in Spokane. National Weather Service actually talked about having frost advisories in effect for this morning because of the cooler temperatures, but we didn't even get as cold as we were expecting to. So while it's chilly and you should grab a jacket this morning, just know it's nothing crazy. We're just a tiny bit below average for low temperatures for this time of year. As we look forward to the rest of the day, we start to see that rain move its way in. So first we get more clouds building this morning. Then by this afternoon, we see some showers, a band of them that pretty much hit all of us, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, down to Pullman, Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint. Basically a giant band moves its way through the region. We'll talk about exactly when that hits coming up in a few minutes.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact from downtown Spokane at I-90 and Division. Looking west right now, you can see traffic flows are moving great here. Maybe just a little bit more of vehicles out on the roadways, but nothing too severe here at this hour. We'll keep a close eye on traffic and let you know if there's any slowdowns. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. We want to let you know about this, though. A heads up for drivers today. The city will begin road work on Washington and Stevens Streets in downtown Spokane. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones live near that project right now for us. So Brandon, tell us more about this project and what drivers need to know. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, this is a project we've seen over the last few years. We're at Washington and Stevens. So right here in that downtown core area, you've already seen the signs being placed out this morning, letting you know the lanes will be closed, and that'll kind of go on for the next few months. But again, here's what you can expect. Washington and Stevens in between Spokane Falls Boulevard. This is a continuation of work we saw over the last few years, but it's now in the final phase. So lane reductions will be in place on both Stevens and Washington throughout the entirety of the project. Drivers should expect slower speeds and traffic delays. On southbound Stevens Street, work will start between Sprague Avenue and First. On northbound Washington, work will start between Main Street and First Avenue. Another traffic alert for the day, this time for drivers towards East Central Spokane. Hartson Avenue between Freya and Havana Street will be closed as a part of a Safe Routes to Schools effort. A pedestrian improvement project begins this morning and will last until this Friday, May 23rd. Expect detours on 2nd to 3rd Avenue. As for the project here at Washington and Stevens, this is expected to last through the month of July. So give yourself plenty of time if you use this route a part of your morning commute. Plan ahead because delays are expected, and also give those crews the necessary space they need to work in a safe fashion as well. For now, reporting live here in downtown Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Happening today, if you are on Spokane South Hill, you may expect to hear more planes overhead. The Spokane International Airport is closing its main runway for routine maintenance starting today. The airport says it does not expect the work to affect commercial or cargo flights. Instead of the main runway, flights will use the secondary east-west runway, which sends planes right over the South Hill. The main runway will be closed today and tomorrow and should open back up on Wednesday. This morning reaction is coming in after former President Joe Biden was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Biden was seen last week by doctors after experiencing urinary symptoms. A prostate nodule was found and doctors say the cancer cells have spread to the bone. A spokesperson for the former president says the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which will allow for effective management. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll hear from Presidents Trump and Obama following the cancer news. This morning, we are learning more about the Mexican Navy ship that crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge over the weekend. We now know 2 crew members were killed, 19 were injured, and 2 remain in critical condition. Witnesses reported seeing the mast of the ship scraping the underside of the bridge before it drifted toward the edge of the river.
You know, I was thinking there's no way they're going to try to go under the bridge. That was like a 175-foot mast. It didn't look possible, but then you started to think, well, maybe they can, and they're going to ease it through there. It was a little bit shocking when it hit. We were all a little bit panicked. It was crazy.
The Mexican Navy says the boat was an Academy training vessel. An inspection of the bridge found no major damage and no motorists were hurt. The New York City Police Department says it appears the ship lost power before the crash. We also have an update in the bombing that took place at a fertility clinic in Southern California. The FBI has identified 25-year-old Guy Edward Bardacus as a suspect. The FBI labeled the incident as an intentional act of terrorism targeting the IVF community. Investigators say the 25-year-old packed a Ford Fusion with explosives. They believe he intentionally parked the car in front of a reproductive center in Palm Springs. 4 people were hurt and have since been released from a hospital. The suspect was killed in the blast. A search warrant was carried out yesterday of the suspect's home. Officials were able to save the embryos in the facility. Continuing coverage this morning, we now know the names of the 2 people killed in the attack on Spokane South Hill. We first brought this to you as breaking news last week on Up with KREM. 911 calls came in from the Hart Terrace apartment saying there was a stabbing and a shooting. We now know the suspect was 61-year-old Daniel McFarland. He was shot and killed by a bystander acting in self-defense. Before McFarland was killed, police say he randomly stabbed and killed 60-year-old Kevin Christensen. Right now, Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador is warning of an online sextortion network targeting children. Labrador says the network known as 764 is manipulating children into sharing explicit pictures or self-harming, then using it as blackmail. The AG's office says the network contacts victims through games and messaging apps like Discord or Roblox. The FBI has opened up more investigations into them, and the Idaho Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force already has 15 reports for similar activity. This morning, the Grant County Sheriff's Office is sharing scam prevention tips on Facebook. They warn when they call, they will not request to collect fines or money. They say to be skeptical and unexpected calls of emails or phone calls. If someone insists on immediate payment of personal information while threatening severe consequences, they are likely a scammer. Washington State Patrol adds in their own post, if you are suspicious of a call, do not respond to questions. Ask for the caller's name and information, hang up and call 911 to verify the call.